Hey guys, the Beautylish Gift Card Event is starting today at 9 o'clock Pacific Time, and it ends this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time. And if you're unfamiliar with the gift card event, what happens is you get $20 for every $100 you spend, and that $20 is gifted back to you as a gift card after the event ends. So I'm very, very excited to share some recommendations with you. As we know, the Sephora VIB sale event starts October 28th for Rouge members. So what I like to do for the Beautylish event is give you recommendations on products that you can't find at Sephora. And this is also where I think Beautylish really shines. They have a lot of niche products that are hard to find elsewhere. They're not as mainstream as Sephora. So I really like kind of spotlighting these brands. And that's why I really love making this video every year. So one of my all-time favorite products, despite the brand, is from By Terry, and it is their Brightening CC Serum. I love, love, love the Sunny Flash shade, which is this one. I love using this in the summertime if I want to add a little bit of a bronze goddess kind of appearance to my complexion. I love using this alone. It has a beautiful sort of pearlescent sheen to it, but it also makes for a great kind of like foundation add-in if you want to make it a little bit more bronzy. It's great as a base. If you put like a sheer foundation over it, this will still shine through. It is just such a gorgeous product. And it is a serum, so it does have skincare benefits to it, which is also really great. Now, I did not know that they were releasing new shades of this product, and you guys probably saw my video from last week where I tried on all the new shades, but they've come out with 4 new shades in addition to the 4 existing shades in this line, and I couldn't be happier because while I love Sunny Flash, and I will use this probably until the day I die, it is very bronzy, very, very bronzy. As you can tell, I am pretty pale. So for me to, get like an everyday kind of look out of my Sunny Flash, it was a little bit difficult because it's a little bit deep, and like I said, it's very bronzy on my skin. So they've come out with shades that work for me as in like an everyday product, and I'm beyond thrilled. And I actually have one on today. So the shade, sorry, there's 4 here, so let me find the right one. 2.5 Nude Glow. This is one of the new shades of the Brightening CC Serum. This is what I have on today. This is like the perfect like light base product for me. I only have this. I have a little bit of concealer on over this, which we'll talk about in just a second. But this is basically all I have down as a base product. And it does this perfecting to your skin with just a little bit of a tint, but really it has this gorgeous, like light reflecting kind of pearly sheen to it. And so it just makes your skin look really, really smooth and just super healthy and super glowy, and I just love it. So Nude Glow is one of the new shades. The other new shade that I've been reaching for is 2.75 Peach Glow. And this one is, well, it's a little bit pinkier, as you can see, compared to the Nude Glow. So it's a little bit more brightening on my skin tone. And this is a very sheer product. So what you see in the bottle is a lot more like pigmented and bright than what you're actually going to get on your skin. So don't let this scare you. So those are the 2 new shades that I've been reaching for ever since I got these, and I did purchase them off of Beautylish. And the 2 other shades that they came out with, one is light for me. This one is 2.25 Ivory Light, and so this I can use as like a highlighter. It's beautiful as that. And you can use all of the Brightening CC serums that way as like a liquid highlighter. And then they came out with a deeper shade, which is number 5, and this one is called Sienna Light. And let me just hold this up next to Sunny Flash. So you can see the depth is about the same, but the Sienna Light is much more red in tone. So what I really love about this particular shade is that it does give me that kind of sunburnt appearance. So this is something I feel like I will be grabbing like in the summertime, in the late summertime. Just that like little added like redness really gives a nice like sun-kissed appearance to your skin. So I love, love, love the Brightening CC Serum, as you can tell. And I'm just so thrilled with these brand new shades. One thing I do want to mention before I move on is that they do have a rose scent, the very famous By Terry rose scent. You will definitely smell them when you use these serums. So if you do not like rose fragrance, you probably want to stay away from these products. If you don't mind, or if you like rose fragrance, you definitely won't mind the scent in this serum. So that's the first thing from By Terry I wanted to mention. The second thing I wanted to mention is, and where is it? It's just on my vanity. It's the concealer that I'm wearing underneath my eyes. So it's the Terribly Denseless Concealer, and I have it in the shade 2 Vanilla Beige. And this is a serum concealer. So it's a very light in coverage, it's very light in texture, and it's just completely weightless. And I do feel like this feels more like a skincare product than it does a makeup product, because it just goes on and it feels like it's just feeding that really tired, dry, exhausted under eye area. I'm only speaking for myself. The really like kind of tired part of your eyes here. And it just feels incredible. The coverage is light, so this is great for those like no makeup days, or if you're wearing something really light like this and you just kind of want to spot conceal a little bit, not do too much, this is perfect for that. So that's the other By Terry product I wanted to mention. I could go on, but there's a lot to cover here, so I'm just going to move on. So Kogendo is the next brand I wanted to talk about, and some of their products are carried at Sephora, but some of my favorites are not. And of course, Beautylish to the rescue, they have them. So the Kogendo Moisture Foundation in the shade 113 is just one of my favorite foundations. I think you guys hear me talk about this foundation quite a bit. It has just the most natural sort of appearance to the skin. It has like a light medium to a medium kind of coverage. It's very, very perfecting, and it's long lasting. And it's really just such a fantastic foundation. And the finish of it is, it's like skin-like with a little bit of radiance. And that is my favorite. I don't like too much radiance to my foundation. I have dry skin, so I do like a little bit of help there, but it is definitely not like too matte or too dry looking or anything like that. It is very far from that. It is really, really gorgeous. So I highly recommend the Moisture Foundation, which I have. I've recommended this foundation for years now. And then the other product that I love from Kogendo that I really can't shut up about is their Natural Lighting Powder. You guys hear me not only talk about this powder, but I feel like whenever I talk about a new powder that I'm trying, I compare it to this one. I'm like, it's very similar to this, or it has a little bit more radiance than this one, or it's a little bit more matte than this Natural Lighting Powder. I feel like this is the powder that I hold all other powders up to. So one of my all-time favorites, Natural Lighting Powder from Kogendo. So what I love about this powder is the finish that it gives. So it does what a powder does. It sets down your makeup. It definitely brings shine down if you need it to, but it leaves your skin looking very, very natural. It doesn't look dry. It doesn't look cakey. It has just the slightest, and when I say this, I feel like I'm overstating it even by saying just the slightest satin finish. It's barely a satin finish. It just really just makes your skin look like it's alive versus dead, which I feel like a lot of powders do. So yeah, I just love it. So that's the Kogendo Natural Lighting Powder. And let's move on to Surratt Beauty. So Surratt Beauty used to be at Sephora. Unfortunately, it's not anymore, but no big deal. Beautylish again to the rescue. So much like the Kogendo Moisture Foundation, the Surratt Dewdrop Foundation is like, I feel like these two are kind of like tied between like first place, second place. I just go between these two. So for shade reference, I use shade number 3 in the Surratt Dewdrop Foundation. And this foundation, it has a light coverage. It's a lighter coverage than the Kogendo, I think, but it really perfects your complexion without the pigmentation. It perfects your foundation by really making your skin look filtered, blurred, like radiant without any sort of just full-on shininess. It is gorgeous. I love, love, love this foundation. And again, I have dry skin, but I do have friends with oilier skin types who also enjoy this foundation. So just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah, it's just stupendous. And then for Surratt, I love whipping this out because I find it to be quite impressive. I would say any of the Surratt artistic blushes or artistic eyeshadows. Today I have on the Surratt Beyond Beige palette. So I have actually 3 out of the 4 shades. So I keep them down here. It's these 4 down here. So I have these 3 shades on. This is the one shade that is very similar to the one that's in the Beyond Beige palette, but it is a little bit less peach, a little bit less peachy pinky than the one that they have. So anyway, I have these three. I'll list it down below in the description box. I'll have all of this listed down below, but I'll list specifically what I have on my lids. I just love, love, love the Surratt powder products. They just go on almost like a powder to cream, and they just melt onto your skin. They melt onto your lids, and they pretty much kind of like blend themselves. It's almost like a watercolor when you like dip the brush and like the product just sort of like spreads out and just sort of like blends out. I feel like that's what Surratt's powder products do. They just kind of like blend themselves or just transition themselves. They're just really incredible. So highly recommend the blushes and or the eyeshadows. Love it. And of course the Dewdrop foundation. And another brand that I have recently fallen in love with is Mob Beauty. So Mob Beauty, they create these empty palettes and then products that you could stick into the empty palettes. So customizable products, I should call them. And they have like two ready-made kits. I think these are called the Essentials Kit, and this is the lighter one and this is the deeper one. And the lighter one obviously works a bit better for my skin tone. The deeper one, I feel like the eyeshadow still work for me, but of course the cheap products are a little bit too deep. But I do like the variety that these two provide, and this is, I think, a really great starting point if you want to get into Mob Beauty. I personally really, really love their cream blushes and their powder and their cream bronzers. So this is a palette that I kind of started creating myself. So we've got, let's see, over here, this is a powder bronzer and this is a cream bronzer. This is a powder blush and a cream blush. Their cream blushes are incredible, really, really incredible. If I were to compare them to some of my other favorite cream blushes, like Kjaer Weiss's, which we'll get into in just a second, these are just a teensy bit stiffer in the pan. The Kjaer Weiss blushes are maybe just a little bit more emollient, but they kind of behave the same. The Mob Beauty ones are a little bit more matte. And they're also, I would say both are actually very long lasting on the cheeks. I never see any fading when I use either cream blush, but I really, really love Mob Beauty's like packaging and everything. And I really love their shades. They're very, very beautiful. So I've been using these two blushes quite a bit. This one is a little bit more neutral, a little bit more cool tone. This one's a little bit warmer. And then I have been going really hard with the cream bronzer here, and then this powder bronzer, which I think you can see it has a little bit of like a rosy tint to it. And I use it sometimes just as blush, and sometimes I'll use it actually as a bronzer. So I'll put all the information for what's what down below because they don't really give names to anything. Like this powder bronzer is M36, this cream bronzer is M80, this blush is M70, and this blush is M73. So I don't expect you to remember that, but I'll put like the name of the product, like M73, and I'll describe it. Like I'll call this the rosy blush and this one the peachy blush. So hopefully you find that helpful. But their products are just really nice. You can tell that this was developed by a makeup formulator and someone who has been like working in the makeup industry a long time. Like I find that these are products that are perfect for like a makeup artist or even someone who's like just getting into makeup because there's like no tricks here. You know, there's nothing like, oh, you have to use this a specific way. They're very, very straightforward, easy to use, long lasting makeup. And that's what I love about it so much. So that is Mob Beauty. Again, you can find it at Beautylish and not Sephora. And since I did mention Kjaer Weiss when I was talking about Mob Beauty, let's just jump into Kjaer Weiss. So yes, on her cream blushes, any shade, they're all gorgeous. They all like blend in so effortlessly. They all last on the cheek. What I want to recommend is their Cheek Collective, which is like a cheek palette. So not only does it have a blush in here, but it also has one of their bronzers and highlights. So this one, I think they have 2, maybe 3 different versions of this. So this is definitely best for my skin tone. So shade reference if you are similar to me. But this is the blossoming one. And so the blush in here is Blossoming, which is one of my favorites. I just feel like it goes with everything. So there is Blossoming, and let me just swatch the bronzer, which has a little bit of a sheen, and then the highlight. So here is the highlight. It's really, really glossy. It's like what I would call and consider kind of like a grown-up highlight. It's not super duper shiny. It just gives a little bit of glow. And then the bronzer has a little bit of glow to it. I hope the light's catching it. And it has just a really beautiful, like slightly warm tone to it. So it makes for a really great bronzer. So if you do want to buy these individually, they are available individually, not just in this palette. Bronzer is called Gilded. The highlight is called Radiance. And again, this blush is Blossoming, which is one of my favorite shades. But I love having all of these in one palette. And in fact, I just took a very, very quick trip, and this was one of the very few products that I brought with me because I thought, all right, if I just need to add a little color to my face, this is perfect. Just quick, like tap, tap, tap. And these products go on like perfectly. So that is the Cheek Collective from Kjaer Weis. And then the other thing I wanted to mention from Kjaer Weis is the beautiful tint. You guys probably remember I was very obsessed with this base product over the summertime. I just couldn't get enough of it. I have it in the shade F4, which is, I think, a little bit warm for me. I don't know if it's too deep. I think if I got a cooler tone, it would be fine, a little bit more neutral, but it is a little bit too warm for me. And I think actually during this gift card event, I'm going to pick up maybe F3 or F2. I have to look at the descriptions. But anyway, I love, love, love this base product. It is probably, I want to say it's probably in third place, if not definitely like top 5. Definitely top 5. And you guys know how many foundations I have. This actually, much like what I was saying about these two, and I would say the coverage is kind of between these two. I'm going to do this. So this has the lightest coverage. This has more coverage. Not a lot, but more coverage. This does just something really, really softening to your skin. It just makes your skin look really, really perfect without all of that pigmentation and all of that coverage. It really softens. I wouldn't say that the effect that this gives is blurring necessarily, but it really just, it makes your skin look really supple. I don't know what it is. It just makes your skin look like really touchable. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. And it lasts on my skin type. Again, I have dry skin. It lasts on my skin all day. I never have like wearing problems with it. It never wears away strangely. Yeah, and it just wears beautifully all day. It doesn't sink into fine lines. It doesn't, just start to cake up or do anything weird. It is gorgeous. And it does have, it's not a fragrance because I don't think it's added in. It is a scent to this. And it never bothered me, but I do remember seeing comments when I talked about this that some people were bothered by it. And Kjaer Weis actually reached out to me and they said what you're smelling is chamomile. So just FYI. This is chamomile. This is what chamomile smells like. Oh, but I don't mind the scent. I don't even smell it after I put it on. So maybe that's just me, but I really, really love this product. And Jill Stewart is definitely a brand that I discovered on Beautylish. And it was actually after Tara Babies, a fellow YouTuber here, talked about these blushes. And I went ahead and I ordered some off of Beautylish and I fell in love with them. These are the Bloom Mix blushes. I guess the names aren't on here. So this is a Japanese line as well, so I apologize. Most of the writing on the back here is in Japanese, but I think these are called the Bloom Mix Compact Blushes. But these are the ones, you probably have seen me talk about it, these are the ones that have all the different like quadrants in there. And the powder in the like so soft. The powder is so soft, and you can kind of like customize like how bright or how deep or how light you want the blush in all of these. So this one is Baby Lilac, and this one is Lacy Rose. And so you've got this bright one in here and then a really light one, so you can kind of focus your brush here or focus your brush here. I have so many of these. Number 3, Mellow Daisy. This is one of my favorites because I love this like punchy peach color. And this one is Blooming Tulip. This one is number 1. I think this is probably the first one that I got. Isn't that great? And then this one is Lavender Rhapsody. Now I think this one may have been limited edition, so I apologize. But let me just do a swatch of I want to say my favorite. I'm going to say Blooming Tulip here. So let's do a swatch of all of the shades kind of mixed together. There's Blooming Tulip. And because the powder is so soft, it blends out like a dream. And I wouldn't say there's any sort of like metallic sheen to these, but there's like a soft satin that really gives them like a powder puff, like cloud-like appearance. I'm gonna focus my finger on like the brighter shade up here, the two brighter ones, so you can see what that looks like. That's the brighter one, and then the paler colors down here is this shade. So you can get quite a variety here if you kind of focus your brush in areas of these blushes. But I think if any of the color stories appeal to you, I would definitely give them a shot, because the texture and the formula of these blushes is really what makes them stand out. They're just so silky smooth and easy to blend. So those are the Jill Stewart, I think, Bloom Mix Compact Blushes. Let's talk about Wayne Goss. Wayne Goss, well, you can only find him at Beautylish. There were so many things. I was like, okay, I need to really pare this down. First, let me mention actually something that I have already run out of because I loved it so much, and it's his mascara. He has this waterproof mascara, and I'll just throw a picture of it up here, that is so good. This is by far one of my favorite mascaras. It holds my curl. It is just, it's like slightly volumizing, but it's really lengthening and separating, and it just does beautiful things to my lashes. Now I'm constantly kind of like testing out different mascaras or whatever, but I feel like as soon as there's like a little bit of a lull, I am so going in and getting another mascara. In fact, I'm going to get one during this gift card event and just sort of set it aside and open it up when I feel like there's a lull in mascara testing. But it is excellent. It is an excellent mascara. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. The next thing I wanted to mention are his Essential Eye Kohl pencils. I love these. I have, these were sent to me, so I don't want to say like I ran out and purchased all of these, but I probably would have if it were up to me. The one shade that I use the most, I want to say, is Precious Opal. And it is the one that is, it's like a chocolate brown, but there's like a little bit, it's so subtle, but like a little bit of a sheen to it, but it's basically like a chocolate brown eyeliner. And that's what I have on today. And I put my makeup on hours ago. These eyeliners, I can tightline, I can put it actually on my like lid. They don't smudge, they don't smear. As soon as they kind of like set down after just a couple seconds, they just stay put, but they're not like a gel eyeliner, so they don't have that like kind of thick, goopy feel to them. They're kohl. So, oh, I just love these. They're great if you like to smoke out your liner and kind of create like a really soft line, or if you want to start a smoky eye with like liner close to your like lash line. Oh my gosh, these are perfect. So yeah, I love them all. This is, again, much like the Jill Stewart blushes. If there's just like a shade that you're looking for, maybe you're done with your current eyeliner, I would definitely give these a shot. These are so good. They perform so well. And then also his luxury eye palettes. So I think I've always recommended his first one, which is Imperial Topaz. Feel like I'm playing a memory game with myself. Imperial Topaz. But he has since come out with some really beautiful ones. So I wanted to talk about Smoky Quartz. This, I think, could be my new favorite. It is very neutral. It's a very kind of like desaturated looking palette, which I adore. And the other one that I just love is Tourmaline. This is one of those eyeshadow palettes that, not that it doesn't look beautiful in the pan, okay? When I look at it, I think, yes, this is a beautiful color story. But this is one of those rare eyeshadow palettes that after you get it on your lids, it's even more beautiful. You're like, oh, wow. Like, oh. Like, I'm always checking myself in the mirror and down like, oh, what did I do? Like, oh, okay, I mixed those two shades here. Wow. It's impressive. It's very impressive. And I just love both of these, the Tourmaline and the Smoky Quartz. Actually, let's hold them up side by side, because not that they're similar, but I feel like your eyes play tricks on your mind. So those are the two palettes, Smoky Quartz and Tourmaline. So this is definitely has like the reds in there. It has that kind of like raisin wine color. And this one is definitely a little bit more neutral and like desaturated versus this. Aren't they beautiful though? Love these. So that is it for Wangas. And then next, I want to talk about a brand that will be a nice segue into like skincare, bath, and hair care products. And that is Sisley, because Sisley has a lot of skincare products and hair care products that I love, and a lot of makeup products. So let's start with their makeup products. Okay, wow, this was really hard to narrow down, and I have 5 makeup products from Sisley. So I'm gonna talk quickly. First is their pressed powder. I think I've mentioned this probably in my previous Beautylish gift card event recommendations video, but I use number 2 natural, and this is, it's just a pressed powder, but it is very much like the Kogendo natural lighting powder in that it leaves just the most beautiful, very, very subtle kind of satin sheen to your skin. It just makes your skin look really smooth, really soft, and really supple. So I love this. And they do have a bronze shade. It's number 4, which if you have a skin tone similar to mine, it works pretty well as a bronzer, and I do use that as bronzer. But in terms of a powder, I just really, really like this for like setting makeup. And while I generally prefer loose powders, a pressed powder is just so much more convenient. So I wanted to mention that. And then I also wanted to mention I just call it their Orchid Blush. I think they may even call this like a highlighting blush, but this is number 3. I'm holding it upside down. This is number 3. It's got that beautiful orchid design in there, which goes all the way through to the pan. It's not just like an overspray or just a design on the top. It goes all the way through in the pan. It's just beautiful. It has the most beautiful, silky appearance. And here we go. Do you see it has like, it's not even a metallic sheen, but it's just this like smooth satin sheen to it. And it's like the powder. It just leaves your cheek looking really smooth and really, really soft. Yeah, it just makes your skin look really soft. It's another one of those products. So I wanted to mention that. I think there's three different versions of this. And I'm really tempted to pick up one during the sale as well. I think there's one that is a little bit like on the nude, bronzy side. I may want to pick that up. But anyway, I do have number 3. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then I've got a couple of lip products and an eye product. So these lip products, I've mentioned all these products a lot, but this Phyto Lip Twist in shade number 7 is gorgeous. I mean, I have like 1, 11, I have so many of the shades. There are a couple in there that I want to pick up, but 7 is definitely one that I use a lot because I love these bright coral colors, but because these are like a tinted lip balm, it's not too difficult to wear, or it's not, a lipstick that you need to kind of keep checking up on or whatever. It's really just, it's a tinted balm. So you get like this gorgeous coral tint to your lips, but it's nothing too like opaque and high maintenance. So I love it. And it's really like a balm. It's so comfortable on the lips. And I love that it's in this crayon form. It just makes it really easy to apply. So that's the Phyto Lip Twist. And then these refillable Phyto Lip Shines are relatively new to Sisley. And I've been going really hard with shade number 10, Sheer Nude. And it's got like little micro glitters in there. So it's basically just an everyday kind of nude, your lips but better kind of shade. Here it is. It's got that great shine to it. It's almost like a gloss and stick product. And then this nude shade, because not all the shades have like little micro glitters in there, but this one does. So it just gives your lips like a little bit of extra shine. And I love it. I love it so much actually that the bullet is becoming deformed a little bit, but it's probably because I keep it in my purse a lot. But I love this product, and I love that they're refillable. And then the eyeshadow, the liquid eyeshadow. This is definitely a product that I don't feel like I see people talk about enough. These liquid eyeshadows actually work well. I feel like a lot of liquid eyeshadows that I've tried are a little fussy. They don't always work that well, or you kind of have to use a powder over them or use them over a powder to kind of like fill in the gaps to kind of camouflage the fact that they can be a little bit patchy. These just go on like a dream, and they're like almost 100% budge proof. Like you can rub your finger on it and get a little bit of the pigment off, but it's not like it's still movable or it's still kind of emollient feeling on the lids at all. It definitely dries down. So here is number 5, which is the one that I use the most. It's like a really nice bronzy shade. Here it is, and I'm just going to kind of blend it out with my finger, and you can see how beautifully it blends out, how evenly it blends out. And it just has this really pretty, subtle shimmer. And I feel like if I do that with any other liquid shadow, you would see like streaks in there. But look how smooth that is. It's so, so beautiful. So those are the Sicily makeup products I wanted to mention. Let's move into the skincare products I wanted to mention. So I've got 3 things here. And again, I could go on and on about Sicily skincare. But one is the Velvet Nourishing Cream, which I actually had to dig out of the empties because I did finish this. But this is a wonderful, wonderful, like kind of all around cream. Day or night, it has like a pudding-like texture. So it's not super dense like La Mer, but it's definitely thicker than like a lotion or a typical kind of moisturizing cream. It has, like a pudding-like texture to it. So there is a little bit of density to it. So I really liked, if my skin wasn't feeling exceptionally dry, I would use it at night. If it was feeling really, really dry, I would use it both, day or night. And the Velvet line from Sicily has the most incredible, like light, like floral kind of fragrance to it. It is made with saffron flowers, so I think that is what I'm smelling, but it is gorgeous. It is so, so good. And the first Velvet product I used from Sicily is their Velvet Sleeping Mask. This is probably my second or third one, and I'm pretty much done with this one. I should probably re-up on this too during this gift card event. But the Velvet Sleeping Mask is magical. It is magical. And I know people love their Black Rose mask, which I also love. That one is incredibly moisturizing. But there's something about the Velvet Sleeping Mask that makes you look well rested. I don't know if it's because maybe it does a lot of plumping, but it's definitely something I like taking when I travel, when I get off the plane. If I'm having one of those trips where I like get off the plane, check into the hotel, and then have to go and do something, I like to throw this on because it'll just kind of like revitalize me. It'll wake me up. Or I didn't get, a good night's rest and I have to sit down and film or something. I'll throw this on sometimes. It's so good and has that beautiful, gorgeous light scent. So the Velvet Sleeping Mask, I love. One of my all-time favorite masks, not just from Sicily. And then a product that I never really thought I needed. This is their Essentials skincare lotion, but I remember years ago, because I've been using this for years, this is probably, I've lost track, probably my 4th or 5th bottle. I think I started by using some samples, some deluxe samples, and it's meant to be used after you cleanse and tone your skin and before you go in with like your major skincare products, like your serums and your oils and your moisturizers. This is sort of to pave the way. This is to really soften up your skin and allow your skin to accept all of the other skincare products. And I thought, do I need another step? And I remember using this, again, as a sample, and I thought, I really like it. It makes my skin feel nice. I got a full bottle, and I remember vividly going on a trip and looking at this thinking, do I need to pack this? I was trying to pare down. I thought, no, I don't need this. And on the trip, I thought, oh my God, none of my skincare feels like it's doing anything without this. And ever since then, I've kept a little deluxe sample bottle of this, and I refill it every time I go on a trip because I cannot be without this product anymore. So that's the Essential Skincare Lotion. They have a version of this lotion, which is part of their Supremia line, which is like their top line. It is a lotion just like this, and I think I definitely want to get that. That is definitely on my wish list of things, and I may take advantage of this gift card event to pick that up. So anyway, I love this product. And then the only hair care I wanted to talk about is from Orbe, which yes is carried at Sephora, but I checked and they don't have one of my favorite products from Orbe, and I actually dug this out of my empties bag. This is the Rock Hard Gel. I think the print is even off of it because I travel with this everything. I love this gel. If you ever see my hair back, I'm using this gel because my hair is not cooperative at all, especially my hair in the front. It does not do what I want it to do. So I need something that it has a lot of hold, which this does. It is Rock Hard Gel, but I hate that gross gel that cracks and flakes, and I'm a morning showerer, so if I put this on after getting ready, I'm going to sleep with this probably. So I don't want that flaky, gross gel, and this doesn't do that. There's no flaking. It doesn't crunch up and like kind of break off. It's really, it has such a great texture and it washes out really easily. So I love this rock hard gel, and it's really like the only thing that can keep my very, very stubborn, sometimes coarse feeling hair, like it keeps it where I want it to be. So that's the rock hard gel from Oribe. And then I did want to mention Suzanne Kaufman, because this is another brand that I have fallen completely in love with because of Beautylish, and I love their bath products. So their body butter, I used up, I think I actually showed it in my last empty, so I don't have it anymore. I need to probably pick it up during this gift card event. But I love their bubble bath. This mallow blossom bubble bath, it's so, so nice. The bubbles are kind of like low foam. You're not gonna get one of those like crazy bubble baths. Like the way it makes your skin feel like so, so soft. It almost feels like you put like a coconut powder into your bath. Yeah, it's just incredible, and just has like the lightest, cleanest, like freshest scent also. It's really just like a very refined bubble bath. I really, really love this. And I think if any of the Suzanne Kaufman products appeal to you, any of her bath stuff especially, I would pick it up. I would try it because it really is, it's special. You know, when you take a bath, it's like really when you're spoiling yourself. And I really like using special products in the bath. So that is Suzanne Kaufman. Again, another find through Beautylish. And then, of course, you know, I should probably start the video off with this, but I feel like this is a given because I talk about how much I love Sonia G brushes so much that, yes, like if you were to ask me like, oh, just yes, any brush that you're interested in by Sonia G, yes, there isn't one brush in her line that doesn't perform well. It may not be a brush that you personally like, you know, like a shape, you may not think that you need it or something, but it's still a beautiful brush and it's still made beautifully. And it's, you know, definitely a brush that someone else would probably really, really enjoy. So are these her two newest face brushes? I think so. The Jumbo Bronzer. I think the last I checked, this may have been, oh no, I think this was restocked. So definitely pick this up. This is such an incredible bronzer. I love the shape to it. Bronzing brushes that are just straight up like round, like powder brushes, they just don't do it for me because I really like to use it as like contour as well. And I love when it's flat. I feel like I can sweep across my forehead really easily instead of just giving myself like a bronzer helmet, you know, when you just kind of bronze along your hairline. I like bronzing like quickly over my forehead too, to just sort of get rid of that. And then the other brush that she came out with is Niji Pro. And so this is a denser kind of brush. So this is great for like contour. It's great for like, this will give you a very intense application, but could be good for highlight if you just want to place some there. Both of these would be great for face powder, you know, anything like that. This is just going to give you a stronger application because it's denser and the hair length is shorter, so it's a little bit stiffer. This is a little bit fluffier on the top. So these are, you know, very similar. The Niji Pro, you can see it kind of fans out. The ferrule kind of has an arch at the top where this is straight across. So it's going to have like a little bit of a different feel, but similar too at the same time. So just wanted to mention those. And of course, any of her fusion sets, if those are in stock, her fusion sets are those brushes that have, let me pull one out actually. Here is one. Here is the Jumbo Worker. And this initially appeared as in one of her Keyaki sets. Those are her travel sets with the like beautiful wooden handles. But this Jumbo Worker is part of her Fusion Eye set. Yeah, her Fusion Eye set. And it is incredible for cream products. So I love her Fusion brushes. They are specifically designed for cream products. They just work so beautifully. If you like cream products as much as I do, like cream shadows, cream blushes, bronzer, the whole thing, any cream product, you're gonna really, really love her Fusion set. Here's another brush that's part of her Fusion, her first Fusion set. But this actually is the Keyaki version. This is the mini base. This is the perfect cream brush because you can use it for blush, you can use it for bronzer, you can use it all over your cheek, you can use it like underneath your eyes for concealer, you can use this for like one swipe, like eyeshadows, perfecting your foundation around smaller areas. This is like if there's only one brush you want to get the mini base. It is incredible. It's just such a good size. And I think that's it. That's got to be it, right? I feel like I've been talking for hours. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Ask me questions if you're trying to decide between some products on Beautylish. I'll try and get back to you. But yeah, definitely take advantage of this $20 back for every $100 back in a gift card. This is a gift card event. And again, this ends on Sunday. So I'll list everything that I talked about down below in the description box. And thank you so much for tuning in. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.